Hello and welcome to Babel Yak's Russian Lesson 3. Please listen to the following conversation.
Привет. Как ваши дела? Спасибо, у меня все хорошо. А вы?
Do you remember how to ask, "How are you?"
Как ваши дела? Как ваши дела?
Say, "I understand Russian."
Я понимаю по-русски. Я понимаю по-русски.
Can you say, "I understand Russian very well"?
Я понимаю по-русски очень хорошо. Я понимаю по-русски очень хорошо.
Try to say, "Yes, I understand very well."
Да, я понимаю очень хорошо. Да, я понимаю очень хорошо.
How would a man say, "I'm not Russian"?
Я не русский. Я не русский.
And how would a woman say the same?
Я не русская. Я не русская.
At the beginning of the conversation, you heard the speaker say, "How are you?" Do you remember how to ask in Russian? "How are you?"
Как ваши дела? Как ваши дела?
At the beginning of the conversation, you heard the speaker say, "Hello." Let's listen to the Russian word for hello.
Привет. Привет.
The Russian word for hello, or
Привет.
is pronounced just like it sounds, "Привет." Listen and repeat.
Привет. Привет.
Do you remember how to say in Russian, "I'm fine, thanks"?
Спасибо, у меня все хорошо. Спасибо, у меня все хорошо.
Which part of that phrase means thank you?
Спасибо. Спасибо.
From what you've learned, can you try to say, not very well?
Не очень хорошо. Не очень хорошо.
Imagine that you're at a restaurant and a waiter bombards you by speaking Russian. You want to tell him, I don't understand Russian.
Я не понимаю по-русски. Я не понимаю по-русски.
Because of your clear pronunciation of I don't understand Russian, the waiter is confused, so he needs to confirm. He asks, You don't understand Russian?
Вы не понимаете по-русски. Вы не понимаете по-русски.
Your response is, No, not very well.
Нет, не очень хорошо. Нет, не очень хорошо.
The kind waiter responds by saying, Yes, you speak very well.
Да, вы говорите очень хорошо. Да, вы говорите очень хорошо.
Now let's change the scene a bit. You're in your hotel and you're ordering a drink. You're sitting next to an American, but you don't know that he speaks English. You ask, Where are you from?
Вы откуда? Вы откуда?
From what you've heard, you already know the Russian word for you, or
Вы.
but now let's hear the word for from where. Listen and repeat.
Откуда? Откуда?
So when putting this word together with you, you're literally asking, You are from where? How do you ask? Where are you from?
Вы откуда? Вы откуда?
Remember, the literal translation is, You are from where? Ask again. Where are you from?
Вы откуда? Вы откуда?
Ask again. Where are you from?
Вы откуда? Вы откуда?
After you've asked the man where he's from, his response is, I'm from Moscow.
Я из Москвы. Я из Москвы.
You already know the Russian word for I, or I am, but let's listen to the phrase I'm from. Listen and repeat.
Я из... Я из...
Can you say, I'm from?
Я из... Я из...
When you heard the speaker say, I'm from Moscow, the speaker was using a form of the word different from what you'll learn later. Technically speaking, it's the genitive form of the word. These details aren't important now, but will help you understand in later lessons. Listen and repeat.
Из Москвы. Из Москвы.
Try to say, I'm from Moscow.
Я из Москвы. Я из Москвы.
Once the man at the hotel tells you I'm from Moscow, you respond by saying, Ah, I understand.
Я понимаю. Я понимаю.
After the man has told you where he's from, he asks, And you?
А вы? А вы?
Try to ask, And you?
А вы? А вы?
You respond by saying, I'm from New York.
Я из Нью-Йорка. Я из Нью-Йорка.
The man responds by asking, You are American.
Вы американец? Вы американец?
You respond by saying, Yes, I'm American.
Да, я американец. Да, я американец.
The man compliments you by saying, "You speak Russian very well."
Вы говорите по-русски очень хорошо. Вы говорите по-русски очень хорошо.
Which part of that phrase means very well?
Очень хорошо. Очень хорошо.
You respond by saying, "Thank you. I speak a little."
Спасибо, я говорю немного. Спасибо, я говорю немного.
Which part of that phrase means little or a little?
Немного. Немного.
And then the man says, "You understand very well."
Вы понимаете очень хорошо. Вы понимаете очень хорошо.
You say, "Thank you."
Спасибо. Спасибо.
Now let's imagine a different scenario. You're staying at the Hotel Savoy in Moscow, and you're having breakfast. You sit next to a man, and you want to say, "Good morning." Listen.
Доброе утро. Доброе утро.
Good morning is actually two words, "Dobre" and "Утро." These words literally mean good and morning, respectively. Listen and repeat.
Доброе утро. Доброе утро.
The man responds to the woman, "Good morning, miss."
Девушка, доброе утро. Девушка, доброе утро.
Can you remember which part of that phrase means miss?
Девушка. Девушка.
The man asks, "Where are you from?"
Вы откуда? Вы откуда?
How would the woman respond, I'm American?
Я американка. Я американка.
After the woman says, I'm American, she follows up by saying, I'm from America. Listen and repeat.
Я из Америки. Я из Америки.
How would the man say, I'm Russian?
Я русский. Я русский.
He asks, and you? Or,
А вы?
you say, I'm from St. Petersburg.
Я из Санкт-Петербурга. Я из Санкт-Петербурга.
Try to say, I'm from St. Petersburg.
Я из Санкт-Петербурга. Я из Санкт-Петербурга.
You ask again, from where?
Откуда? Откуда?
Say, good morning.
Доброе утро. Доброе утро.
Say, good morning, miss. How are you?
Девушка, доброе утро. Как ваши дела? Девушка, доброе утро. Как ваши дела?
The woman doesn't quite understand your accent, so she says, sorry? Or, excuse me? This is different than what you've learned before. Listen and repeat.
Извините. Извините.
This is a different form of excuse me than what you've learned in the past. Or,
Прошу прощения.
Listen and repeat.
Извините. Извините.
This form of the word, or,
Извините.
is used to say pardon me or sorry, versus the other form of the word
Прошу прощения.
is used to grab one's attention. As in, excuse me, how would you say pardon me or sorry?
Извините. Извините.
Now let's imagine that you're leaving the hotel. You greet the doorman by saying, "Good morning."
Доброе утро. Доброе утро.
But in fact, it's not the morning. The doorman says, "No, good afternoon."
Нет. Добрый день. Нет. Добрый день.
The Russian phrase for good afternoon, or
Добрый день.
literally means good day. Listen and repeat.
Добрый день. Добрый день.
Listen to the pronunciation of the word day. This is much like the English word dean, as in dean of a college. However, you should touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Listen and repeat.
День. День.
What is the Russian word for day?
День. День.
How would you say in Russian, good afternoon, or good day?
Добрый день. Добрый день.
How would you say, excuse me, miss, where are you from?
Девушка, прошу прощения. Вы откуда? Девушка, прошу прощения. Вы откуда?
The woman responds, I'm from Russia.
Я из России. Я из России.
Which part of that means, I'm from?
Я из... Я из...
Now you're ending the conversation with the woman. You say, goodbye.
До свидания. До свидания.
Try to say, goodbye.
До свидания. До свидания.
This is the end of Russian Lesson 3. Please continue to Lesson 4.